Alright, so you've probably seen all these videos about the Marine Corps and the boot camp phase, just like everything that you do in boot camp, how tough it is, and the internet kind of shows you just boot camp footage. You never really get what happens after you pass boot camp, right? And that was a big struggle for me because I passed boot camp, and then you kind of like subconsciously think it's over. You think you conquered the challenge when you're really like just barely started. Like you didn't even scratch the surface of the start of your career, and it hit me like a truck when I went to the next steps after boot camp, because the next steps after boot camp are actually harder than boot camp. Your drill instructors will tell you like, hey, boot camp is going to be the easiest thing you do in your career, and man, are they right. Like, you literally do some crazy stuff after boot camp. That's where you really learn your job, and depending on if it's combat based or not, that's when things get pretty intense. My job is combat. I'm in the infantry. I'm in 0311. My billet is team leader right now, and when I went through ITB, when I went through the field ops that the fleet has, all of that stuff, it is way more different than boot camp. But yeah, the internet does not have much info on what happens after. Boot camp is the biggest thing. So in this video, I'm going to get right into what happens after you graduate boot camp. Depending on your MOS, basically that means job. Depending on what job you choose, you're going to either go to this thing called MCT or ITB. MCT is Marine Combat Training because every single Marine is an infantryman. Every single Marine has to know how to deploy their weapon system. That's the thing that makes our branch different than others. If you join like the Army or like the Navy or Air Force, you won't. Depending on your job, you could literally be working in an office. Like, depending on your job, you could be just chilling in an office. Every Marine, even if you're like in an admin job, you're most of the time you're going to be in an office, but you're still going to have to qualify your rifle. You're still going to have to go on like little field ops here and there. You're still going to have to practice combat here and there. Obviously not as intense as us because it's our literal job, but depending on your job, you're going to go to MCT or ITB. Most people are going to go to MCT. Basically what MCT is, Marine Combat Training, it's a month long, and it's basically like boot camp part 2. It's like the range week and I forgot what that week is called. The week before the Crucible. Grass week? I don't know. But it's those 2 weeks, but for a month. So you hit the range more. You do more like survival skills. You learn your field op like skills more. And you pretty much just like do like patrolling and just a more advanced version of the boot camp stuff that they taught you. This is a month long. You go into the field for a full month. You live in like these little hooches, and depending on what you like, you're gonna either like it or you're gonna hate it. I didn't go to MCT. I went to something called Infantry Training Battalion. Some people would call it Infantry Marine Course now, but ITB is the most popular word. You go to something called ITB. This here is basically boot camp part 2 with Saturdays off. Like, you literally get treated like a boot. You get treated like you did not make it to the Marines. Like, you get reset again. Like, these instructors are going to be super annoying, super hard on you. You go to the field every single week. It's 3 months long, so it's just like boot camp. Mine was literally like another 12 weeks long. But this time you're at the range. You're doing like the cool stuff for 12 weeks straight. You're gonna have dirty nights, cold nights. I had nights where I really thought I had like hypothermia and stuff, and I would like freeze to death. I was in the black just staring at the ground. Like, you're gonna have some. If you're going to ITB, I'm gonna warn you right now, you're probably not gonna have that much fun, because it's like the drill instructors, but this time they have no rules. Like, you don't need, like, sleep is not a requirement in ITB. Like, I have had nights where I just went through the whole night with zero sleep. Like, they would be like, all right, everybody go to bed. It's 3:30 in the morning, but rev leave is at 4 in the morning. So you literally, by the time you get in your sleeping bag, you got to get back up. It was insane. I've had some of the craziest nights in ITB, but it did build me up like crazy. Like, now I'm like very accustomed to like that type of pain and that type of like tolerance. So I guess that was on purpose. I'm not sure. But yeah, ITB, you're going to learn to deploy your weapon systems a lot more. You're going to learn different weapon systems like the MAWS, the M320, the M67. You're going to just like learn a lot more about your job. ITB is only combat MOSs, so only if you're going to be a machine gunner, mortarman, 0311, infantryman, some MSG, some security forces, like anything that's considered a combat MOS, you're going to go to ITB. So be prepared for that. If you do choose a combat MOS, that's where real boot camp starts. Like that's where it really started for me. Like I got past boot camp and I was like, man, this is light. Like I felt like it was light. I was like, this is light work. I passed boot camp with flying colors. It wasn't physically enduring at all to me. And then I got to ITB. That's when I woke up. That's when I had the nights where I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like I cried. I had nights where I just felt like I didn't want to be there. So ITB is going to be more intense. MCT is like a mini watered down version of that. It's obviously a month long, but it's only a month. You before you know it, out of the month, only 2.5 weeks of that is actually like being in the field, because you have the first week, which is like admin, just like boot camp, and then the last week where you're preparing for graduation. So yeah, you're either going to go to your schoolhouse, or if you went to so what happens after MCT and ITB, right? Let's get into that. So after MCT, right, the month-long training, you're gonna go to your schoolhouse. So you're still not in the fleet. The fleet is like you not beat the game, but like you're actually doing your job. Like you're actually a marine. Like you're doing your job. It's back to normal. Like right now, I'm chilling in my room. Like I'm in the fleet, right? So you would go to your schoolhouse. Depending on what your MOS is, this schoolhouse can be like a year long. Some people finish half their contracts without hitting the fleet. So if you want to have, a career where you're in the fleet a lot of the time, maybe choose a job that doesn't have an extremely long schoolhouse. I know the aviation schoolhouses are freaking long, because you're obviously learning how to control, airplane. I don't even know. I can't even tell you. But yeah, you're going to go to your schoolhouse, right? After MCT, you're going to learn your job. I heard they treat you a little better because, they're not like trying to be drill instructors. They're trying to more be like instructors, like people that are trying to teach you your job. But it all depends on the unit. It all depends on the command. So just be prepared to still be treated like crap. If you're new somewhere in the Marine Corps, you're probably going to get treated like crap, because you have to like earn your stay or whatever. That's why the retention rate is so low in the Marine Corps. But just try to be as useful as possible. Become an asset to your leaders. Volunteer yourself, but not like in a bad way where you're just getting like slaved around. But yeah, be an asset. That's like a side note if you want to be like not slayed in every place you go. But yeah, you're going to go to your schoolhouse. If you went to ITB, the good news about ITB is that is your schoolhouse. So Infantry Training Battalion is the schoolhouse for infantrymen. So you're skipping any other schoolhouse. You're going to go straight to the fleet after those 3 months. Like I've been in the fleet for like 6 months now. Unless you're a special weapons like MOS. So if you're like a machine gunner, or if you're like a mortarman, you're gonna stay for an extra month in ITB. So your schoolhouse will be 4 months long. You'll be in ITB for 4 months. So you try to actually care about your job, because you're gonna be there for a little minute. Yeah, and then after that extra month in ITB where you learn your specialized weapon system, you'll go ahead and hit the fleet, right? So you hit the fleet. What happens after you hit the fleet? I'm not gonna lie, my first 2 to 3 months in the fleet were absolute hell. Like I said, got rebooted again. You're brand new once again. You get treated like you didn't earn the EGA. Like you get treated like pretty badly. But it's how you earn the title. That's how you earn your stay. My unit is very accomplished. I'm not gonna say it just for the privacy, but my unit is extremely accomplished. So I definitely had to earn my stay. I've been here for about 6 months now, maybe 5, and my plan was very, very easy. All I did early on was become as useful as possible to my leaders, not in a slave way, like where I'm like just getting killed all the time to do different little tasks, but I showed that I was eager to learn, and I showed that I wanted to like be good. So my first 2 to 3 months here, I was literally just volunteering for everything. I was studying for up to an hour every night, up to 2 hours every night, making sure I knew my knowledge. In the infantry, if you know your knowledge and you're good at PT, you're gonna do good. So I was training every day. I still train. I just got back from the gym. Like, I just started grinding. And now I still get treated very new. In the infantry, the life is very different. In the Marine Corps, the Marine Corps infantry, it's very different. Maybe when you hit the fleet, you'll get, like, maybe your first month will be pretty bad, but then after that, you're like doing your job. Like the admin Marines, it'd be some random PFC talking to the gunnery sergeants like they're friends. But in my unit, we don't do that. So be prepared to like respect your command. Be prepared to like listen to leaders, even if you don't like them. Just be prepared for all of that. If you have a tough heart, if you make it through ITB, if you're a combat MOS, you're gonna do just fine. Like I'm okay. I did just fine. It taught me like resilience, ITB. So in the fleet, I'm really good. Like, and now I'm a team leader. Now I lead a group of Marines, and I kind of like not proved myself. I'm not gonna say that. But I kind of like earned my stay in a way. Like, all right, this guy is not here to mess around or make us worse. He's trying to make us better. So that's all I try to give to the table every day. Once you hit the fleet, try to give yourself to the table. Try to show that you're trying to make the unit better, make your platoon better, and they're gonna respect you for that. Every time I mess up, I call it taking the hits to the chest. Just stand with your chest up high. Go to parade reps. You messed up. All right, how do I learn from this? You might get screamed at. Whatever. It's the military. Let's fix this situation. Let's get better in the next rep. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. I never take anything personal. I'm like, all right, crap, I messed up here. Let's see what can I do better. All right, let me do better here. Let me study a little more. I missed that acronym. Let me memorize it so I don't mess up next time. That's basically what it is. But yeah, so you got boot camp, then you got MCT or ITB. MCT being 1 month long, ITB being 3 months long. Then you go to your schoolhouse if it's MCT. You go to the fleet if it's ITB, and then you just start grinding. So that's pretty much the pathway to like making it to your actual fleet, your job, where you like have a barracks room and you're just living a regular or like semi-regular life. But yeah, that's basically what happens after Marine Corps boot camp. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.